All right. So thanks everyone who's joined. This is our second SugarU Lunch and Learn webinar. We call it Lunch and Learn, even though I know it's not lunch for everyone everywhere, but do want to thank those that have joined thus far. Today, we are focused on a deep dive into the service console with SugarServe. And we've got Eric Okimoto, who is our senior director and works primarily on SugarServe. And then we also have Suman, who's a senior product manager, and we've got Jonathas, who is part of our product marketing team here. So we've got some expert folks on Serve here to kind of walk you through what you can expect with the service console. And with that, I will let you all take it away.
Okay, thanks, Bree. Thanks everyone for joining the webinar, or if you're listening to it, thanks for listening. We are, in the next hour, hopefully much shorter, we're going to go through some of the key aspects of the service console, key features, give you a quick demo, and then open it up for questions. The service console was very much something we've been investing in a lot lately. If you're just using case management with SugarCell right now, you're really missing out on some of the key capabilities of the SugarCRM that support agents and service agents in their jobs. So we want to highlight some of these things for you and answer any questions you may have. So what is the service console? Service Console is only available with SugarServe and now Enterprise. And what it basically is a workspace or an agent workbench that it provides a powerful work environment for support agents and to bring the capabilities needed to get their job done to them. Our philosophy with the Service Console is bring the data to the agent. Don't make them jump around the CRM. Don't make them use a back button. Don't make them look for things. Bring the data to the agent so that they can answer the customer inquiry or the customer need in a way that the data comes to them when it's needed, where it's needed, without losing context. So I will say the Service Console is a bit of a journey. It's not a destination. We're not 100% there yet. And we're going to talk to a bit later in the webinar about things we're doing to really improve on the innovative capabilities of the Service Console. That said, all of this innovation and all the great things we're doing with the Service Console are only available to serve users. So if you're relying on just the case management list view and SugarCell for your support agents to get their job done, they're really going to be missing out, especially as more and more innovation comes to this platform in the next few quarters. So what are some of the other key aspects? We have SLA management, service level agreement management, and region-specific business hours. So this is where the context of your business and the how your business operations work and what the restrictions are, that's all built into the Service Console so that when it's routing cases, when it's prioritizing things, when it's assigning for teams or individuals, it understands when they're not working or when they are working or when they may be taking days off and so forth. So all that context is understood so that no customer inquiry goes unanswered. Nothing gets left behind, nothing falls through the cracks because everything is managed in a central location. Cohesive case research and action experience. Very much, we're trying to improve the information that's brought to the support agent in the console dashboards. Information like timeline view and account details and knowledge base in a way that makes sense to the user so that they can quickly get the job done when they need it done. Likewise, further insightful dashboards needed to answer queries, and then streamlined and efficient customer service. As much as possible, things get prioritized in the console based on how they should work. It's unlike the case list view where it's much more just a filter and you find things. This is based on our understanding of your context, based on our understanding of your SLAs, based on kind of how you want things prioritized. We're going to prioritize things for you so that it takes the guesswork out of what needs to happen when it needs to happen. I'm now going to pass it over to Suman, and she's going to walk through some of these aspects in more detail, slide by slide, and then we're going to have a quick demo. Suman?
Yep. Thank you, Eric. So as Eric mentioned, right, Service Console is the window where, we bring all the tools together for that, so that service agent can do their work, efficiently and much more productively. So next, I will go through a little bit detail of the engine behind the SLA. You have seen the SLA is basically a service level management, which is part of the customer service process for most of the businesses. So people can set what is the follow-up date I would like to set, and based on their own business processes. And this is the engine they can use for setting up those processes. So we at Sugar provide out-of-the-box templates. This accelerates the service processes and guides the customer service agent, through all the tasks he or she needs to do. So from Sugar, we provide an out-of-the-box business process definition. Customers can change these definitions based on their process. So this particular service definition, which we provide out of the box, is basically divided into 3 parts. Number 1 is when a case is assigned, a number of steps are taken. For example, whenever new case is created, a case is assigned to somebody, and an email is sent to the person who is the owner of the case. Similarly, based on the business rules, the follow-up date is set. The follow-up date is basically, when the first response for that particular case needs to be sent to your customer. Once the agent replies to the customer and then sets the status of the case to a pending input, then a certain amount of time is added to the case for the case follow-up, and system will wait for it. So all this process is automatic. That means there are timers which will wait for a certain amount of time, based on which it will automatically set whether the particular case has met the SLA, or whether a case has not met the SLA. So all this process is designed so that you don't have to worry about when the case SLA was met or not met, and you can see all the reports based on whether you are missing SLA or you have not missed SLA, and how much time you have missed SLAs. So all these processes are automatic, and customers, based on their own requirements, they can change all these business rules. I'll show you in the demo how you can do it. Next, I would like to go through some of the key features of Service Console. So number 1 is the case queues. So we have now added case queues, which we also call metric tabs. So here, what it'll allow you to categorize all the cases based on various criteria which you have, like, for example, priority, type, or department. So what it does is that it allows you to support the robust case management capabilities, so that your agents can efficiently handle customer inquiries. For example, you can categorize some cases as my cases, some of the cases which are escalated or not escalated, and also cases which are assigned or not assigned. What we have seen in our customer, when we are talking to our customers, in general, what the process is like, you can look at your cases first, and if you are done with your cases, you can also look at your team's cases. So depending on your business process, you can categorize those cases, and then it makes it very easy to solve those cases. The next one is the case.
Real quick, Suman, can you go back to the last slide? So, and just so everyone's aware, these are the 4 out-of-the-box queues or metrics tabs. As Suman mentions, this is fully configurable. So I have a demo instance where I have added categories such as regions, territories, product lines, or even different aspects of the business. It could be finance, billing, onboarding. But you can fully configure the queues so that people understand the nature of the customer case coming in. And then we are working on doing more automated triage, which means automated tagging of cases based on reading how things come in. But right now, it's a bit, triage is still a bit manual unless you do automated triage based on BPM. But you can create all sorts of other queues here to make this very useful so that it instantly gets assigned to the right team or the right person based on what is needed. Sorry, Suman, go on.
No, it's fine. Thank you. Again, focus drawer is something which everybody loves in Sugar. What it allows you to do is focus on what you need to, work on at that point of time. We have enhanced focus drawers so that now we have tabs added to focus drawer, so you can move backward or forward within those tabs, and you don't have to leave the service console. So basically the idea here is that whatever you need to do, it's all available in the service console. Whenever you click on any of the link within service console, a new tab is opened in the focus drawer. So say a service agent can focus on the things they need to do. You don't have to look at, you don't have to move to different browser tabs. So everything is available within focus drawer tabs. And also entire record view can be seen in the focus drawer now. So what it will do is that service agent gets to see everything what they need to see in service console.
What we're really trying to fix here a bit, we noticed for some of our super users in the support agent space, they would open up numerous browser tabs for a case, and they would sometimes almost bundle cases by different browsers that they're working on, or use different ways in the browser to organize them. We're trying to organize it so that you can use the tabs in the console, and therefore you're not required to ever use or ever open up another browser tab. It should all be here for you so that it's one browser tab for Sugar, and everything can be managed in this tab.
Yeah, within focus drawer, you can navigate, to and fro with these arrows. Next, it makes the case resolution faster for the customer service agent. So what we wanted to do is that allow agents to see all the case history and all the case communication in one window. So we have case timeline. What it does is that it shows all the communications which has happened on a case, including any tasks which are assigned to the case to somebody, and any internal notes which somebody had, talked to other colleagues for collaboration in one case timeline. So at a glance, whenever somebody opens a case, they has all the case history, and they can see exactly what happened and when it happened for a case. So case timeline is part of the case focus dashboard, and agents can see, all that has happened on the case timeline. Similarly, you can add comments log for internal collaboration. Agents can send notification to other agents in case they have any queries which they need to be resolved by talking to other agents. Now that we have added the whole record view in the case focus drawer itself, agents can open the case in a record view so that all your customers who have done any customization for the case record view can also be seen in the case focus drawer. So we also have change timers, which is only available for serve customers. What it does is that it allows customers to keep track of time for any milestones which have happened for a case. For example, how long a particular case was in a particular status. So how long the case was assigned to someone, how long the case was in pending input waiting for a customer, and how long it was there in any other status. So with this, customers you can actually keep track of all the stages, different stages of the case. So the main advantage of Service Console is that not only you can see the details of the case, you can also see the details of the account which is associated to the case. Now, because we have now focus drawer and focus drawer tabs, when the agent is working on a case, not only they can see the details of the case, they can also see the details of accounts. So what that account is, what is the purchase history for that account, what are the active subscriptions that account has. All these can be seen within Service Console and in the context of the case. So this will allow, you to have a consolidated 360-degree view for the account, all the details of the accounts and the contact details. Then comes the knowledge base. We have seen in a customer service process, knowledge base is very important, right? So what we have done is that we have also provided a dashlet for knowledge-based search. So while the agent is going to reply to a customer, if they have any question which they need to look for knowledge base, they can easily search the knowledge base, look at the knowledge base details, and then reply to the customer via the service console. So everything at one place, so that it increases the productivity of the service agent. With Serve, we have also delivered almost more than 60 out-of-the-box service reports. These reports are related to the case metrics, the agent performance, productivity, SLA matrices, as well as any other team level matrices. So what we have done is that we have delivered a number of service reports. With Serve, we also have a very powerful reporting engine. So you can create your own report based on your business processes, but these are the reports which we are delivering out of the box to make it quick, quick time to value for our customers.
One quick point on this, if you could go back. Many of these cases, many of these reports, even though they're out of the box, you would not be able to develop in Cell with reports because they are dependent on that change timer that Suman pointed out. So something like average time to resolution by week by agent, even if you want to construct that report yourself in Cell, you're not going to be able to do that because you don't have access to the change timer. So a lot of those reports are change timer dependent. And the ones that are a little more timing performance related, those are only available via Serve.
Okay. So last but not the least, Service Console overview. So within Service Console, we have combined the list of the cases as well as the overview for all the cases. And what you can do is that you can add any dashlet, any reporting dashlet which you have access to into the Service Console overview tab. So admin can design this Service Console, and then the agents can actually use these matrices to keep track of their performance as well as keep track of any cases they need to work on. So now I will go into the system.
Before we jump into the demo, any questions about anything anyone saw? Okay, and please feel free to send us any questions via chat. We can cover anything else that you may need.
Okay, so this is SugarCRM. Whenever you open the instance, you can go to Service Console via this home link. This is always available for the service agents. If you have a Serve license, this is the first screen your service agents would see whenever they log into the system. So this is how the Service Console looks like. So you can see here, you have a multi-line list view, which will show you all the cases which are to be worked on based on the setup which your admin has done. So here you can see all the cases based on the sorting order based on the follow-up date. So whenever your system is set up, initially at start, your admin will go and you will actually enable these process definitions, which we deliver out of the box. So out of the box, these process definitions will be disabled. You have to just go to the system and look at the case follow-up date management process definition and enable it. So once you enable it, what the system will do, it will automatically, whenever new case is created, it will automatically set up the follow-up date based on your setup. So when we deliver these out-of-the-box process definitions, we deliver it with certain criteria. For example, whenever a case is created, the follow-up date is set based on the business rules, which are set up here. So you can easily go and change the business rules here. So out of the box, we provide certain criteria based on priority, based on the service level. We set up the follow-up date. If initially a case is created based on the priority, if it is high, it is four business hours are added. These business hours are based on the business centers which serve and sell both. We also provide a way for you to set up your business hours for different business centers. And these business centers are actually associated with accounts and cases. So based on the business center hours, these business hours are added as a follow-up date for each of these cases whenever they are created. But you have all the flexibility to design these business rules based on your criteria. If you have another field which you would like to add to that, you can easily go here and change it.
So what in effect it is, you may have agreements where you say, hey, we will get back to you within 2 business days or, X business hours or so forth. If someone's complaining about something at Friday night at 10 o'clock, the clock that won't start on that until Monday morning, assuming your business hours are not Saturday and Sunday. But the clock will start so that the notification to that support agent for flashing red, it takes into account your business hours and the agreement you've made with your customer.
Yeah, and the system will check based on the SLA date. So based on the follow-up date, whenever by default, whenever a status changes from new to any other status, system will set up that, okay, the agent has replied to the customer, and then it will wait for the customer. If the agent changes the status to pending input, then it will wait for the customer for another 16 hours. And then if the customer has replied within 16 hours, it's fine. Otherwise, system will send a notification to the customer and again wait for the customer. So all these setup is done in these process definitions. You can easily change based on, if you want to add 8 hours or if you want to add 4 hours, depending on your business processes, you can set all these conditions here and the system will take care of all the follow-up dates. Going back to the service console. So here you can see the metric tabs I was talking about. It's taking some. So my teams all escalated, all unassigned my cases. As Eric mentioned, that these are the out-of-the-box metrics which we deliver, but it's very easy for admin to create a new metric, tab based on your requirements. So for example, if you want to do something that I would like to see all the cases related to my product, which is, let's say, for example, if you have a product market, I would like to see all the cases which are related to market. So I can just go and say, select my cases, which is any of market. I have to make it active. So as long as you are designing the tab, you can set it as, it can remain inactive. The moment you're ready to publish, the admin can set it to active. So not only you can decide who this will be assigned to, that means which team will have access to see this particular metric. You can also decide what would be the layout for that particular metric. So there might be a scenario where for all unassigned cases, you want to see a different list of fields, but for all the escalated cases, you might want to see a different list of fields. So here, admin can go and set up all the fields which they would like to see. You can remove or add all the fields in the layout. They can also set up the primary sort order and the secondary sort order and different settings for that particular metric.
Also very interested if anyone has any feedback, and please feel free to reach out directly, but we are routinely improving our configuration capabilities in the product. We're currently working on, it won't be released for a little bit, but working on configuration capabilities of the timeline and adding additional modules. But we have a bit of internal debate about whether it's best to do it in product or in studio, or if, and we're starting to take a bit of hybrid approach of always providing an access point in studio, but provide configuration access or manage it in the core app, which gives us a little more flexibility in terms of what we can do. So we welcome any feedback or thoughts on that, because I think we have quite a few admins on the call. So any feedback on where you'd like to configure and how you best like to do it is welcome to Suman and I. Also that was a bit of a
that's good.
rabbit trail there, but go on, Spawn.
Yeah. So you also have filters. Once the admin has decided what would be the filter for this metric criteria, when the agent is working on that list, it might be a long list. Agent can again filter it. They can create their own filters on top of the metric tabs, and they can search. So here, once you have searched, you can look at the case timeline I was talking about. So here in this timeline, you can see all the interactions that has happened with the customers. Not only you see the interactions and the activities, like if a task is added to a case or not, if there's an internal comment added to the case or not, you can also see all the changes. There are a few changes which have happened on that particular case. So for example, you can see here the status change. So in the timeline, when that status was changed from assigned to pending input, that also you can see. So this will allow you to see all the events that have happened, including interactions on a case in a timeline view. Right now, there are fixed number of changes and modules you can see in the timeline, but in future we are working so that you would be able to see all the modules which can be assigned, which can be linked to a case. For example, if a document is added to a case, or if you have a custom module, or if you have an integration with let's say, for example, ERP. So if you have integration with ERP and some ERP document is added to the case, linked to the case, you would see in this case timeline. So this is a very, very powerful component, which actually gives you all the details about the case in a glance. The moment you look at it, and if there is a new agent, for example, which is assigned to the case who was not working on the case, they can just look at the timeline and they know exactly what happened on that particular case in what order. So that is very helpful, the case timeline. As I was mentioning about the account, so while you're working on the case, you might want to look at the account details. So you can have a look at the account details here. You can see if there's any task which was added to the case. You can see look at the details of the contacts, all the documents which are added. All these things can be looked at in one screen without going away from Service Console. So that's the most important thing. So if in case you want more details about that account, you can just click on that account and it'll open up in the separate tab. So you can have a look at it, and then all the details are shown here. So what was the purchase history? How were the opportunities? What are the revenue line items for that account? Are there any other cases for that account which are linked to this account? So you can see at a glance, you can see all the details within Service Console. It's important to note that everything what the agent needs to do can be done within Service Console.
We notice quite a few support agents often have widescreen monitors. Myself, I'm included. When you do feel this experience on a widescreen monitor, if your team is able to get them, it's very powerful because it suddenly makes Sugar much easier to use by having the context always there and being able to focus on honing on the details. So almost zoom in, zoom out without having to jump around the CRM.
Yeah. And if you want, if it depends on your preference, you want to look at the account details in a record view, you can look at it in a record view. If you want to look at the account details in a focus dashboard, you can look at the focus dashboard, and you can see here all the details about the account. What was the purchase history? What are the products they have purchased, and what is the timeline of any communication which has happened with that account. So you get all those details, and you also has a comment log here where you can do the collaboration with the other service agents if you have any questions related to that account. Once you add a comment for a particular service agent, they will see that notification in the notification section. So they can see this notification in here, and they can, next time when they log in, they can see this red dot here, and they can, reply to you. So that's very powerful. As I was mentioning about the knowledge base search, so here you can look at the knowledge base, and you can, if you have any question which you would like to see search in the knowledge base, you can look at it, and then you can, see what the knowledge base article is saying. So all the details are here. If there's any revision for that knowledge base in any other language, you would also see that here. So apart from that, once you come back, so you have this overview screen for every agent to look at. So admin can decide this overview screen, and they can see, based on your business process, what dashlists you would like to see. From out of the box, we provide a number of dashlists based on what we thought that agent would need or the managers would need. They can see all the cases assigned to a particular agent. They can see if an agent is logging in, then they can see status of any open tasks which are assigned by the admin. They can see all the open cases based on the follow-up date, all the cases based on status. If there's a need, the admin can actually add any other dashlet. So as I mentioned, like, we have a number of out-of-the-box reports. You can add any dashlet or any report dashlet based on your business process. Not only the out-of-the-box, if there's any custom dashlets which you have, you can add it here. So that makes this whole service console very powerful, because you can customize it the way you want to customize it. Apart from dashlets on the overview screen, you can also customize all the focus dashboard dashlets. So for example, if you have, so if you need any other information about this particular case, you can decide what dashlets you would like to show for the service agent. And in this multi-line list view itself, as I mentioned, that you can decide what columns will be shown for each of these matrices. You can, agent can decide whatever they would like to see as input columns for these matrices. For example, if you want to look at the escalated case, you can look at it. So all these links are focus dashboard enabled. So all these links, if you're working on a particular case and you would like to see the details of a certain element or a certain field or a certain data about a particular module or a particular account or a contact, you can just have a look at it, and then just immediately you get all the details. And depending on your requirement, you can use that particular focus door, as you would like.
What we noticed as we watched how kind of support agents worked is there tend to be some themes of how they need to resolve something. If it's very tactical in nature, it's a simple problem. It may be accessing a knowledge base or just looking at a case history. If it's a little more complex, they may need to look into details about the account and the purchase history and figure out what's going on. And so having these different dashboards that you can tailor for your team really accelerates their ability to bring the data to them that they need to solve a different problem. So it's really about, we understand that some people have been using Sugar for 10 years and they know where to look for everything and they know where to find things and they have their way of kind of just doing business. There's also, we're very cognizant of the fact new users are always coming to Sugar, some of them very young. and very much don't have that insight into how your business should work, how accounts work, and so forth. So having a capability that can bring data to them based on what they're trying to solve just really accelerates your processes for those junior support agents that don't always know where to look to solve a problem and get something done.
Yeah. As Eric was mentioning, so what makes this whole service console very powerful is that admin's ability to decide which service, which metric tabs will be shown to which team. So if, for example, they assign it to somebody named Max, so next time whenever Max will log in, he or she would be able to see that particular metric task, but others would not see. For example, if I log out, only Max would be able to see and others would not be able to. So that way, what happens is that it gives admin the control, and also it gives flexibility to admin to decide who should be able to see those metric tabs based on their job profile, So only Max can see. So other people will not be able to see it. Now, if Max is here, what Max can do, if Max does not feel that, okay, this is not something I need to see right now, or the agents have the flexibility to hide or show. And also agent has the flexibility to decide, to organize this. So if Max feels, no, I would like this to be, the first tab, they can easily organize it and, do their work based on their own preference. So this way it allows everybody to do the work the way they would like to do. So admin can initially decide what is the process to be followed by all the service agents, but also service agents have the flexibility to decide, how they would like to work. So that's mainly for the demo. Any questions?
Any questions on the demo before? We've just got one more slide and then we can jump into questions. So
give me 1 second.
So just finishing up, if your support agents are using case management and Cell, they're really missing out. Serve is a better support agent platform. As discussed here today, it provides that service console, those queues, change timers, and better out-of-the-box reports. What we did not talk about today, but what you can also get with Serve is our brand new self-service capability. We're quickly building out capabilities in our new self-service, which is in effect a new portal. Unlike our old portal that was built on Sugar Tech, this new portal is fully integrated into your CRM, but it's a completely different tech stack. It's React front end, Go back end, which makes it mobile responsive, very modern, very much a polished look and feel, so that your customers are receiving a very polished look when they interact with your portal. So 2023, as mentioned, we're just going to continue to make Serve better. So much of the innovation we're looking at for 2023, 2024, it's very much focused on improving the service console, providing even a better 360 view. So there's all sorts of timeline improvements we have coming down the pike. We're also improving communications. We realize support agents, they don't like to use Connect. They want to operate in the CRM and be able to communicate easily in the CRM by having full configuration capabilities based on the channel they're selecting and be able to see the whole interaction with the customer. We want to bring that all to the user in the service console so that they know when a customer's responded, they know what the interactions look like, and they can quickly send off communication in the right channel based on what the customer is asking for. We're continuing to invest heavily in self-service. Right now, it's just case management. We have Document Center coming. We have Knowledge Base coming. We have Omnichannel coming. We also have a host of configuration capabilities coming that are going to make it much more kind of make it your own portal, and something that will just improve the way that you interact with your customers. And lastly, we have a lot of ways we want to improve the performance of our customers, your support agents. So we have all sorts of automations we want to put in place and things that just make it easier. Ultimately, really live up to our credo of let the platform do the work. So where we can take steps away from standard support agent tasks, we're going to do that. We've got some quick action buttons that are coming out of the box for the console that allow agents to just hit one button and basically take a whole host of actions with a customer based on how you design your quick action. So in effect, these are our answer to macros for your support agents. Lastly, innovation does continue. As mentioned, we're going to improve upon our omnichannel and self-service capabilities. And we're also, if you're not using Sugar Automate, you're missing out. That's one of our best capabilities that a lot of support agent focused customers use. And we're going to really start weaving Automate more into BPM, more into self-service to make the customer journey, put that at the core of everything that happens, so that ultimately the simple stuff is going to be handled. The more complex interactions will bubble up to your support agents. And make sure their attention is brought to them as quickly as possible. But we do see a path here, and we are very much focused on kind of the B2B use cases, but we do see a path to really automate a lot of the work needed and make your support agents much more efficient.